All right, guys, welcome back. Chief Kerr, Kravology. So this week we're talking about something that is sort of near and dear to my heart, which is an example of what we would call the Krav Maga Family Tree. And what I mean is, if there's a lot of Krav Maga DNA, by virtue of analogy, between techniques, we would say that those techniques are related in a way that we would look at a family tree. So I want to talk to you about a set of defenses we make and why they are closely related in the family tree. The specific reason is, after the redirection is made, we end up sort of in the same position, and the way the redirection is made is very similar. And for those reasons, you may find that those techniques sit closely within the family tree, right? So I'm going to bring James in. We're going to talk about this, illustrate this. So last week we talked about optimizing a redirection or optimizing and addressing the danger. So James puts the gun on my head, and I'm going to get the gun. I want to have an optimal redirection. What it looks like this. I don't know, we're going to show the feet in a second, but I've shifted over my left foot. And when I do that, the angle that my right leg makes is longer than my left leg. You think about a triangle on the long side. So my toe will remain on the ground, my heel will rise. You'll see that in a second. So whether the gun is off or on or off the head, I'm still doing the same thing, right? Now, if the gun's in front of me and it's off my chest, I can stay in the center line. I can redirect, I get some benefit from these distances, right? The distance of the gun here and here, right? When the gun is on my chest, it's different. I'll explain. If the gun is here, and I redirect the gun, I should be out about now. Is that right, James? Okay, now freeze. Now, if I take the angle of my body and walk in, I'm no longer out. The gun is on my chest, right at my lung, right? So if the gun is on me and I make that same movement, the problem becomes I'm not off the line of fire. If my standard for being out of line of fire in terms of time and movement is this, as if the gun was off me, I need to do something else when the gun is on me, so that when the gun is here, I'm out of the line of fire. Currently, I'm not. So the way I do this is I take the back of my finger and I draw up. I want to do this and get to the gun. I want to rotate my body with my shoulder driving forward, and then I also want to, like gun on the head, shift my body. Now my body's out of line of fire. Can you see that in the camera? Yeah. Right. So we're in this position, and then I'll go in. Those are very similar in the sense that in both cases, whether I'm this way or this way, a lot of weight is in my left foot, very little weight is in my right foot, and my heel's off the ground on the right side. So anytime you're required to do that, and you end up in this position, it becomes a familiar position. It becomes a position that's shared between many defenses, right? So we have 1, 2, and 3. We also have knife. So knife could be at the side of my neck, right? And if I'm shifting off, I'm actually shifting this way. If the knife's over here, I'm shifting this way, right? And my feet are the same. If the knife is here, I'm shifting back, but I'm still end up in the same position, right? So I'm going to walk through that with you. So there are now 6 techniques, 3 handgun and 3 knife, that require me to shift to optimize my addressing the danger that creates a suboptimal structure for counterattack, right? Having said that, the point is this. Those 6 techniques all exist, relatively speaking, close on the family tree. They're close to one another, right? So as you think through techniques, as you walk through the thinking process of what is similar with this technique, what is similar with that technique, your capacity to do that allows you to relate one to another, which is powerful for you in terms of how you understand the technique and the types of core movements you need to make to be effective in Krav Maga. So any comments? So I hope that resonates with you. I hope it makes sense. Start thinking that way, and as always, walk in peace.